Hey there, Judi Jamieson the Psychic, and welcome to my channel. In this video here, I'm going to share with you how to understand, as an empath, the difference between if you're being used as servant or a freaking doormat to a manipulative, toxic person, or basically really what I want to say is if you are an empath who has opened the doors and allowed yourself. These are some of the key traits or qualities or things that you're going to want to notice about yourself. These are some red flags to let you know you are in a space to attract these kind of people into your life and be taken advantage of, to where you might not notice or understand that is what's going on, or that's what you're being set up for. Really how to protect yourself. Make sure you hang out to the end of the video because I have some stuff here that'll really help you power up. So before we get started real quick, if you are new here and you have not a freaking clue who I am, my name is Judi Jamieson. I am a psychic. I teach intuition and psychic development, but with a twist to it. More specifically, I work with women or empaths who are emotionally wounded and are on this personal self-discovery journey life path from healing and learning how to power up against toxic, manipulative, and abusive people. Because as empaths, we will forever be a lighthouse and a magnet and a source of food for manipulative and toxic people. It just comes with the territory of being an empath. You are seen as grade A supply, quality source to siphon and freaking suck off of, because we have issues and problems with saying no and boundaries, and we just give and give and give and give and give. And there's no freaking end to how much we give. Yeah, you feel me on that one? Anyway, if that sounds like you and you're ready to change that shit cycle and tune into your power, I am your new virtual best friend, and you're gonna wanna hit the subscribe button that is right underneath this video. Make sure you hit the little bell too, and I'm gonna give you a second to do that right now. All right, so let me go into some key red flags, personal things that you would need to be aware of if these are things that you think or things that you do that would make you susceptible to being a servant or doormat or attracting manipulative, toxic people. One, do you have a problem saying no? Or do you say yes when you really want to say no, but something inside of you worry more about somebody else's feelings or what they're going to think, or you're being selfish, or you're being this, you shit on yourself, all over yourself. Red flag number one. The second thing you want to look out for, do you lose yourself? Maybe you are going to discover something right here. I know for me, it took me almost 45 years to freaking discover this. You have no sense of identity. Everything about you, your life, your world, your everything that you see is completely consumed in other people, helping other people, doing things for other people, jumping when other people say jump, to where you always put you last. You have no sense of identity. Nobody ever asks, what do you want to do, or where do you want to go, or how do you feel? It's all about them, or you're the one who's out there seeking, how can I help you? What can I do for you? What do you need? You're killing yourself. The third thing you want to look for is if you take responsibility or allow other people to put the responsibility of someone else's bullshit on you. You think it's your responsibility to fix everything and freaking do everything for other people. And then a lot of times those other people don't even see it or appreciate it or acknowledge a simple freaking thank you. How can I repay you? You know, like, you know how you would be towards somebody. If somebody went above and beyond and did something to help you, you know how you would feel, how you would appreciate that and voice that. But other people ain't doing that for you. Pay attention to who those people are that you're doing that for. But anyway, it's taking responsibility for things that are not your responsibility. If you find yourself that when you're alone, you feel lost, you don't know what to do. It's kind of like an identity crisis. You struggle with making decisions. You have like brain fog. That can also be part of like PTSD from traumatic experiences and abuse. That's a whole different animal video that I can get into. But if you find that you're not doing something for somebody else or involved with something for somebody else, you kind of feel lost, like you don't know what to do. Another red flag to look out for is if you're afraid of and you cannot handle rejection. Okay, not everybody's your cup of tea. see, not everybody's in your tribe. And that's totally okay. The way I look at life is you want to attract your tribe, and anybody who doesn't fit in that circle, you want to flat out fucking repel. But if you're somebody who's afraid of rejection, you're afraid of somebody telling you no, or you're afraid of somebody saying, hey, I don't like that about you, that's a red flag to look out for within yourself. If you're someone who struggles with boundaries, setting boundaries, knowing these are my limits, this is what I will and will not tolerate, and here's the key, critical, and kicker part, you voice and honor and love yourself enough to stand those boundaries, make those boundaries freaking known. A lot of people will say, I'm guilty of it too. When I was in my narcissistic abusive relationship, this ain't gonna happen again. Next time he says this, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna do this. And then it would happen and I was like, all right, it's just, he had a rough day, or stop. If you struggle with boundaries and opening your voice and standing firm in them, that's a personal red flag. If you're somebody who avoids conflict and confrontation, now I know as empaths, that's not our thing. We don't enjoy that. But we do live in the physical world, and we are going to come in contact with people who get off on that kind of shit. Yeah, I know lots of people who I swear, man, that's what they need in order to freaking survive. But if you're someone who will do anything and everything to avoid conflict, to keep the peace, even like completely ignoring the big ass elephant or the elephant family that is in the room, just because you don't want to cause problems, but the problems are already there, I guarantee you didn't cause them. You're always looking for problem resolution, problem solving without rocking the boat, really avoiding conflict. Conflict is necessary. That's a red flag. If you're someone who seems to keep attracting assholes into your life. I swear for the longest time I had this invisible tattoo on my head that said, I fall in love with angry assholes. And only angry assholes, alcoholic assholes, could see that. We all have our own unique pattern and cycle of things that we attract to us. So if you're someone, if you kind of evaluate, you have a really track record shit cycle of attracting to you shitty people, shitty relationships, that's a red flag. If you are somebody who is constantly saying, I'm sorry. If you are apologizing for things that you should not be apologizing for. Do you constantly say you're sorry? Big red flag. Do you struggle to tell the truth when you are in pain? And what I mean by that is, you're basically lying to yourself and lying. Like if somebody says, are you okay? And inside you're ready to drive your car into a freaking pole and you're like, yeah, I'm good, I'm fine. Come on now, you're not fine. Open your mouth. If you're someone who is secretly resentful towards someone, and that's because you would keep stuffing your emotions. We stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff because we don't want the conflict. We don't want to avoid, upsetting anybody or rocking the boat or pointing out the elephant. Eventually you get to a point where you start to hold resentment for somebody. It's actually... would be holding resentment for yourself because you didn't open your mouth and stop the shit. Or try to. I shouldn't say that. Another red flag that you want to look out for is if you find, this would be a codependent empath. If you are constantly seeking validation, approval, worth, love from the outside world. Like when you're alone, you just don't feel sufficient. You need someone else to complete you. Somebody else to help lift you up. You are not sufficient in your own unique beautifulness. So to give you an example as to what that looks like, if you kind of grew up in a household or a way of life where you were never seen, validated, heard, acknowledged, loved, you learn that your idea of love is when you constantly give to somebody else with the hopes that they're going to see your value and worth and what it is that you have to offer, and they're going to love you in return. But that's usually not how the cycle goes. The cycle goes, you give, they take, they want more. You give, they take, they want more, and you're never getting replenished. That is a codependent empath. Probably do some videos on that one. If you are someone who is constantly chasing love, you do not know how to love, fulfill, self-justify, give yourself as an individual all of your own needs, wants, and desires. You need someone else to fulfill you for that. That's a codependent empath. All right, so how do you fix all this shit? That's the big question, right? I have a workshop coming up that will show you how to fix, change, go to the root of the issue, erase all that pre-programming, doing all the bullshit to help get you out of that cycle. I have a workshop coming up that will show you how to break those patterns, how to understand where those patterns came from, how to reprogram your brain, how to repel toxic, manipulative, abusive people, how to learn how to love yourself, all kinds of phenomenal, wonderful, life transformation changing things. Anyway, the link to that is going to be underneath that. I think it's called an empath survival guide. These are the key things that every single empath should have in their backpack, their tool belt, and practice on a regular freaking basis. Anyway, one of the reasons why I do these videos is to build relationships and help people. The only way that is going to happen is if you communicate below and talk to me. Let's have a dialogue. So I got a question for you. If you have come to a point in your life where you realized you've been being too nice, you've been putting yourself last, you've been allowing yourself to be a personal doormat, comment below and tell me what made you realize this. What was the tipping point or the switch? For me, it was a relationship, multiple relationships with narcissists, and then someone I know and trust raping me. It was a trauma, multiple traumas in a very, very short span of time. Comment below, let me know what made you realize that you were being taken advantage of and that things needed to change. The other thing too, if you're someone who is in that very empowered state, share with me some things that you do to empower yourself or stay within your boundaries or not allow people to take advantage of you. If you're enjoying the videos and the things that I'm putting out and you want more, comment below and tell me what it is that you want to know or what it is that you're struggling with, so if I have experience with it, I can make a video to help you. If this video enlightened you in some way and it kind of made you have some aha moments, give the video a thumbs up and share it, please. All right, so hopefully you hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you're going to comment and talk to me. I hope you have a wonderful, phenomenal, kick freaking ass day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you later.